Welcome, everybody. My name is Paisley Coxey. I am the general manager for Aduvo. We also have Josh Bopp on the call. I'm going to kick things off with the educational portion of the webinar. I'll be pausing for questions along the way, so feel free to throw any questions in the chat or the question and answer section, and I'll pause to answer those. And then before we get started, I just wanted to ask two quick questions here, just so I have an idea of who's on the call and can definitely tailor some information to that. So I first just wanted to start off just seeing which loan origination systems you guys are using, just to have an idea of the user base we have on the call today. I'll leave this up here just for a second, not too long. Okay, it looks like a lot of Point Central users and Encompass. So, okay, great. And then my next question here for you guys is just to understand some of your marketing pain points. I'm sure we'll address most, if not all of them, but I definitely want to have an understanding of what you guys are running into and see how we can help you out. Leave this one up here for a second as well. Okay. It looks like marketing to realtors is a big one, which is definitely important and something we're going to highlight today. Social media is popping up as well, which I definitely plan to address in a future webinar. So great to see the interest there. And integrations between platforms. Okay, great. So let me go ahead and get started here. Okay, let me get that poll out of the way. Okay, so what are the keys to success in 2023? The biggest thing that I've noticed in the industry and with talking with different LOs is really the relationships with borrowers and realtors. Both of those continue to generate business. So to just highlight a little bit of this, I read a number of different articles by the National Association of Realtors, and some of the big points that they brought was 90% of borrowers find their loan officers via their realtors. So it's really important to build those relationships with those realtors, maintain those relationships, just so you can continue to generate additional business. Also, 89% of borrowers refer their realtors to their friends. So it just kind of continues that cycle. If that borrower had a good experience with the realtor, they'll recommend the realtor. And in turn, if the realtor knows the borrower had a good experience with you, just helps to continue to boost that relationship. And finally, 96% of top LOs say that realtors are crucial to their success. So I think it really just kind of highlights the importance of making sure that borrower is having a great experience, making sure that the realtor's in the loop and knows what's going on, and just really making sure that communication is a crucial part of the loan process for you. So with all of that being said, where do you begin to build these relationships? It's easy to say that you should do it, but where's a good place to start? A really easy place to start is with some simple email and text messages. So for example, sending real-time, up-to-date status alerts to both borrowers and realtors throughout the loan process is a really easy place to start. And some additional articles that I read on the National Association of Realtors website is that 80% of realtors wish they heard more from their LOs. So what does that mean? Most of them wish that they had some additional updates along the way throughout the loan process, just really knowing where things are at. They also wanted to make sure that they're aware of where a referral source they sent that LO's way might be, just preparing to move forward in that loan process. So any additional communication you can have with them, the better. Co-branding your emails with realtors was also a big thing that I saw across the internet in a number of different articles. And we hear this a lot from our own users as well. Getting that realtor's face out there helps them grow their business and in turn boosts your relationship with them. It also can encourage them to do some promotional branding with you as well, which just gets your name out there and in front of additional borrowers. The next important piece and place to start is to send the right information in the right time. 30% of home buyers find the process really confusing, and many mentioned that they didn't really know what next steps were and where things were at, and they'd get information from their realtor and they'd get some information from their LOs, but they found that if they received more information throughout the whole loan process, they would have felt like they had an overall better experience. So just making sure you're sending them the right information in the right time is really crucial to having that education occurring and to keep that loan on track to close on time. The next is to show value to your leads. So the biggest thing is don't assume that they know what to expect. Even people that have purchased a home before can find the process confusing. And also don't assume that they've chosen their realtors. So make sure you're adding value to your leads. Maybe send them some emails with some tips and tricks to make sure they're going to be able to move forward with the home buying process, promoting those realtors, just any education you can give them up front buys a little bit of trust with you and just helps boost those relationships. The next is to nurture those relationships. So make sure you're reaching out post-close and sending useful information to both borrowers and realtors. One thing that we've heard a lot in the industry is that realtors are really looking for educational pieces from loan officers and just looking for updates of where they think the industry is at. So sending things like monthly newsletters and other quick messages throughout the year that gives value to the realtor. Realtors really find that they really appreciate that information, and they're often asking for that type of information. And finally, keep your messages simple and to the point. In the world right now, there's so much noise. You're getting bombarded with marketing constantly. So make sure that you're being direct, whether that's an email to a lead, a closed loan, a realtor. Make sure that you're providing them some quick, helpful information and make sure that it's not too wordy or overbearing. Okay, I'm going to pause here for a second for any questions. Does anybody have any questions just on the relationship building importance with realtors and borrowers? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start the next slide, but if you guys have any questions, pop them in there and I'm happy to pause and answer them. So the next, with all this being said, is where do you even start to put some of this into place? And the biggest thing is make sure you're doing, doing marketing the right way is really, really hard. A lot of people, and even the poll showed, a lot of people don't know where to start. They don't know the messages to send. They don't even know how to pick the right platform and move forward with all of those things. So the biggest thing is it's really hard to find. A lot of solutions miss the mark for small teams and individuals. And with many loan officers, they want to be able to pick the right solution for them and really generate the business the way that they want. So being able to find solutions that can meet their needs is really difficult. Another thing is a lot of platforms are hard to implement. So a lot of people don't even know where to start. And when they look at what they need to put into place, it can become really something that would be an easy no, right? You want to be busy closing loans, and anything that can get in the way of that, is a little difficult. So you want to make sure you're finding an easy to set up and get going platform. The next is a lot of people find maintaining marketing difficult. So whether that's making sure that your holiday emails are up to date or that your lists are ready to go, it's really hard to maintain all of that and make sure that it's up and running. The next is a lot of people find it hard to afford. So finding a dedicated marketing team can be really expensive, and there are some platforms out there that might be expensive as well. So finding the right platforms that fit the needs for the average loan officer can sometimes be difficult as well. It's also hard to stay compliant. So it's important that any messages that you're sending are meeting any industry guidelines. We know guidelines are constantly changing in the industry as well. So making sure that you're utilizing platforms that are on top of any new rules and regulations is really important. And finally, it's hard to find good content. So a lot of mass marketing solutions have general content. Maybe they've got holiday content for you, birthday content, but really a lot of platforms aren't tailored to the mortgage industry. So it's really important when you're finding a solution to be able to build these relationships with the borrowers and realtors, that you're finding solutions that have content that is relevant to the mortgage process, relevant to those users, and something that's going to help you grow your business. With all of that being said, we're going to hop into the next portion of our webinar here and present to you how Aduvo can help you grow your business and really highlight the importance of those realtor and borrower relationships. Before we hop into that, just want to see if anybody has any questions before I pass it off to Josh. Okay, Josh, whenever you're ready.
All right, Paisley, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Just making sure. So my name is Josh Bopp. I'm CEO of Aduvo, and just wanted to step you through what we put together with our solution offering. And then Pace is going to give you a live demo, but a lot of what we have happens invisibly to you. So we put together the deck so you can kind of understand how the pieces fit together and hopefully make your life a lot simpler. Get over here. So what makes us different? First and foremost, we're purpose built for mortgage professionals. We don't serve any other industry with our marketing platform. This is not for realtors. This is not for the general public. It is strictly for mortgage professionals. Then we've got in-house content creators, right? So we have copy, design, compliance, all the pieces necessary to build that content. We have in-house and maintain that for you. We also have tight integrations with our trusted LOS partners. I'll go through those in just a moment, but Path, Lending Pad, Encompass, so on and so forth. As I mentioned, we have compliance vetting for all of these pieces. So any content that we create and maintain has been sent to an outside compliance team for accuracy of mortgage regulations. And then last is we have flexible billing. So I'll step through that at the very end. But if you want to pay for a company, pay for a team, pay for an individual, you can do that and mix and match, which makes us a little bit unique. How we work. So first and foremost, we have a content team that builds a piece of content, whether that's a text message or an email, copy, design work, all those pieces. We then send that to our outside compliance folks, and they review any drafts of those text messages and emails, provide any edits that are necessary, and we obviously make those edits. We then test for deliverability. So we have an internal team that simply makes sure that those messages show up right in Outlook, show up right in Gmail, do the merge tags work, to eat all those pieces that are important to high deliverability to your end users. We then build a list for you. So whether that be maybe an interest rate target group or all realtors, all borrowers, so on and so forth, we build that list. We then put all of these messages together with a schedule and attach it to that list. And then you turn it on, right? So this is really designed to be a single button as a campaign is created that you can then review and say, yep, I'd really like to get that one going. You review what's in it, hit the go button, and it's gone, right? You didn't have anything else to do on your side. Campaigns we offer today, so real-time loan status alerts throughout the loan process. We get updates from the LOS and can trigger borrower, realtor, email, text messages. Birthdays, monthly newsletters for both borrowers and realtors, lead nurture campaigns, traditional holidays, and loan anniversaries. Hey, we see that you closed a loan with us 2 years ago. Thanks for being a great customer of ours, so on and so forth. Our partner connections. So what makes us, I think, pretty unique in terms of what we're getting from our LOS providers. First is the connection itself. You don't have to worry about it. So when you sign up with Aduvo, we've got direct, close relationships with the LOSs that we partner with, and we worked behind the scenes with them to get your LOS connection and your Aduvo connection working. We then do a historical sync. So we pull in every single loan record that you identify you want pulled in. As those come into Aduvo, we sort those, right? So who's a borrower, who's a realtor, who's an attorney, what types of loans are they, what were the interest rates? And then we keep ongoing real-time alerts as you make new files, right? So anytime that you make a new file or a change and hit the save button, we're going to get that. And then what's your experience like, right? So, you go through our onboarding process and we get Aduvo up and running. What does Aduvo look like for you day to day? It really is up to you if you even log in to Aduvo. So you work as normally within your LOS. You make any changes to your files and hit the save button, commit that to that LOS's database. The LOS immediately alerts Aduvo to what those changes were. We analyze what just happened, right? Was a realtor just added? Did the loan amount change? And what occurred within that LOS file? And from there, we either do an immediate send of a text message or email, or we schedule it for the future. Maybe you hit a trigger that said, in 6 months, I want to drip this individual back based on the campaign that you signed up for. So all of this occurred without you logging into Aduvo again, which makes us a little unique. You're not maintaining these things inside of Aduvo once you turn it on. We're happening in the background for you on your behalf as your marketing team. And then what makes us a little different? So today, I'd say that the number one tool that our customers use when they sign up for Aduvo for their current marketing needs is email, right? They don't have a system in place to do this. Obviously, you're on the call today because you're experiencing some of those pain points, but really labor intensive, really error prone to get those emails out in a consistent basis. And as I just mentioned, that automation is really meant to be set it and forget it. Also, mass marketing, email blasts, constant contact, MailChimp, things like that. They lack mortgage specific content, and that content they do have certainly didn't go through compliance checks that we offer. Excuse me. In terms of CRMs, we do not really bill ourselves as a CRM. Some of our customers find the tools on Aduvo sufficient for those needs, but we're purpose built as a marketing platform first and foremost. And most CRMs out there really lack the rapid onboarding that we have. And a lot of times we can get you same day setup to get you looking at campaigns and turning things on. And we're totally live typically inside of a week, right? We work on getting that LOS connection, the data ingested, and the messages being sent within a week. Most CRMs are going to be months to get that up and going. And then last, as I kind of briefly touched on, all of those platforms have a lot of variability when it comes to pricing. Is it volume based? Is it loan based? Is it headcount based? Do it have a hit some kind of threshold where the price isn't what I thought it was going to be? You're going to know what you get with Aduvo. We charge on a per user per month basis, and that's it. It's a flat per user per month pricing. For those of your end users that want to use it, great. For those that don't, we also offer a free version where at least they can look around and kind of see what the paid version has to offer. And everybody gets a free 30-day trial. So you get to try it before you buy to make sure it's the platform for you. And then last, really our competitors are designed to have a marketing team running behind them. We have really tried to structure Aduvo to be that marketing team, right? And we're both from a technology perspective and a people perspective there to support you throughout your entire marketing journey. Platforms we're going to integrate with today: LendingPad, Encompass, Calix Path, Calix Point Central. Arrive is coming probably the next 30 days. Along with that will be a Zapier connection, so you have some flexibility to also connect to other platforms of your own, would that be maybe a website form or some other system out there to try and make it as easy as possible to get marketing automated for those pieces as well. And then last is setup. So as I already touched on briefly or alluded to, the rapid setup time is one of the things that makes us a little unique. You set up an account with us, talk to our sales team, get that done on the same day. Schedule a time with our onboarding specialist, turn on those campaigns that you feel best fit your business needs. And that's it, right? We handle all the pieces in the background when it comes to connecting to the LOS and getting that data ingested, and you are live. And a lot of our customers never log into Aduvo again, right? And great if you want to get in there and make your own campaigns. We have some neat tools where you can do that, some editing tools. You can build those same lists that I talked about, build those same email and text message, but you don't have to. A lot of our customers just let us do that for them. And maybe they log in every once in a while to turn on an additional campaign that we'd created, but that's it. Subscriptions. Today we offer 2, company individual. We're introducing a third this summer called Teams, and you can mix and match, as I mentioned. So if you'd like to pay for half of the company on a company account and the other half you want individual loan officers to pay for that, we can do that. And then, like I said, this summer we'll also offer a team accounts where more of a branch or originator team, if that individual wants to pay for others, they can do that. And we only charge for originators. So everybody in the support team, whether that be the owner of the company, marketing admins, receptionists, people that are supporting those loan officers are always free accounts in Aduvo. Originators are the only that we charge for. And live demo. I'll hand it back to you, Paisley.
Great. And I saw a couple questions came in, so let me just answer those really quickly. I did type some answers, but somebody asked, is it similar to a CRM or does it replace it? So just depending on what you're utilizing in a CRM, we can definitely meet some of those needs, if not all of them. Like Josh mentioned, we don't necessarily label ourselves as a CRM just because there are so many features that platforms have nowadays, but our bread and butter is really that automated marketing. And we will have custom pipeline views available this summer as well. So just depending on what you're needing, we can definitely meet those needs. And then asked if we're familiar with Happy Grasshopper and how it compares. I did a quick search on that. It looks like Happy Grasshopper is actually for realtors. I can definitely look into that more and get back with you. But our platform is different in that this is for mortgage professionals and loan officers. So let me go ahead and share my screen again here. Looks like we've got one more question. asking how this compares to Jungo. Can definitely answer any questions related to that. So much like Jungo, we do have automations with the loan origination systems. Our platforms are syncing in real time. I know depending on the LOS that you're utilizing, sometimes it syncs once an hour or once a day on the Jungo side of things. We also have custom content for mortgage professionals, texts, and emails. So just depending on what you might be utilizing with Jungo, we can definitely meet those needs. And then doing another quick read here. Okay, I see that Grasshopper is trying to figure out the LO side of things, but we can definitely have a follow-up conversation with you. I can shoot you an email after this and happy to talk with you about that. Okay, let me go ahead and share my screen here and just start showing you the platform. So I'm going to make this quick. And actually, before I get started, let me just throw another quick question up here. I meant to ask it earlier, so I apologize about that. How are you currently communicating with leads and realtors? Just leave this up here for a second. And then we will hop into the demo here. This should take no more than 5 minutes at most, and I'll definitely pause and answer any questions you guys have. Okay, it looks like a lot of manual emails and texts, a little bit of automation and phone calls as well. Thank you guys for the feedback. As you're aware at this point, we can definitely address the manual texts and emails that you're doing by automating some of those things for you and helping you customize that to meet your needs. Okay, I'm going to close that poll for now. Okay. So the platform itself, this is the screen that you are brought to when you log into Aduvo. We try to give you a quick snapshot of where everything's at. So we'll be syncing any lead information you have, closing activities, loan information, as well as some marketing stats. So all of this will be related directly to yourself and your user. The platform itself has pre-built content like we had mentioned. So whether you want to turn on specific campaigns or take a look at the template library, it's really easy to navigate and look at those things. You can create anything that you'd like, but we did want to make sure that we're giving you out of the box content ready to turn on. And again, all of our content has been reviewed to meet for compliance needs. So I'm going to jump into a campaign here really quickly. One thing that I really like about the platform is you can have a mix of both text and emails kind of all in one campaign so that you're not having to create separate things for your loan process, one for text, one for email, making sure you're updating both. They can all be in one. And then the builder itself is really user-friendly. So another feature that I really like is I can see how successful my campaign is as a whole, but I can also open each message as well and see that all on the screen without having to go too many different places. We also wanted to make it really easy for you to preview these messages, send a test, do all of that from this screen. So you can easily log in here, preview that content, make sure that that's the message you wanted, and then move on with your day. So this is an example of our status alert emails. We wanted to make sure that we were implementing some educational pieces like we had highlighted. So we make sure the first-time home buyer is aware of what this milestone means, what the next steps would be, and anything they need to prepare. We include loan details. This is also a great place to go ahead and add realtor information here too and do that co-branding with them. Then we give them updates on the loan process. So we have these messages that can go to borrowers and co-borrowers. We've also created a shorter version of these for realtors as well. And these can be either emails or text messages. So anybody interested in taking a look at this content, definitely let us know. I'm happy to stand up a free trial site so you can poke around. I see we've got another question here. I see some, I'll get back with you on the Grasshopper stuff after this. And then let's see. Do you send information to LOs regarding the success of certain emails and texts initiated by you, or does the LO have to go into Aduvo to see the results? We don't have that automated now. It's definitely something we want to start doing. So I would hope that later this summer, we can start to automate those to our users and just give them an idea of what's successful, what maybe they should turn on based on what has been productive for them in the past. So we definitely plan to implement that in the platform. And then does the site allow weekly newsletters to go out? Yes, you can definitely schedule weekly newsletters. We actually create monthly newsletters that you can utilize to send to borrowers and realtors, but you can create any content that you'd like. You can utilize our templates or create your own. So sky's the limit on automation on that front, but yes, you can definitely do that. Let me hop over to our template library here really quick. This is really the last main place I wanted to highlight on this call. So as you'll see, we have tons of pre-built content in here. Anybody that wants access, just let me know. We can definitely stand you up a site so you can come in here and poke around, but you can preview the content really easily right here. Scroll through and see anything that you'd like. And then let me find a template here just so I can edit one. And then the template builder itself is also something that I really like. I've used a number of different marketing platforms in the past, and they're not always the most user-friendly. So this platform uses a really simple to use drag and drop builder. A lot of the more popular platforms utilize this, so definitely wanted to make sure we are prioritizing that. So anything that you wanted to add, it's just a simple drag. Anything you want to reorder, you can do that as well. And then if you guys had any pre-built content or had a marketing team that created HTML copy emails for you, we can always import that too. So sky's the limit on what you can create and what you can do. But again, we wanted to make sure we are providing content for you guys as well. Let's see, I see another question popped up for texting. What phone number is used and how does the client respond? So we use Twilio for our text, so we will create a phone number for you. Typically, we would recommend we use the same area code that you guys are using, for your other phone numbers, and then we can create that for you. Right now, if somebody was to respond to a text, it goes to the email, but we will be releasing a portal or a section of Aduvo this summer that will allow you to respond directly in the platform. And then we will be able to customize how you get that alert that you've gotten a response. So if you'd want that in an email or a text, we'll work with you to customize that so that you're aware that somebody has responded. Josh, anything you want to add related to the interactive texting component?
No, I think you touched on the main, but the biggest piece is we know it's a critical feature and it's on a roadmap for probably a June release, July at the absolute latest.
Okay, feel free to throw any additional questions in here. I've got a couple little follow-ups for you guys, just so I can get an idea. We will be running these webinars monthly, so just getting your guys' feedback is super helpful to make sure we're delivering information that's important to you. So let's see. There we go. Sorry, I had to find the right question there. Just interested to hear what you guys would potentially like to hear about next month. Just want to make sure we're providing education that's important to you guys and being able to highlight those items. I know there was some interest in social media things earlier. That's definitely my plan to address this summer. But any of these other items that might interest you, happy to prepare our webinar surrounding that. One thing that I do plan to touch on in our next webinar, just to kind of share that with you guys, I'm working on a customized campaign based on some feedback that I've had from new first-time home buyers, just things they wish they heard throughout the process, and then things post-close, like when your first mortgage payment's going to happen and what to expect once you start the mortgage process. So working on another educational series that I definitely plan to highlight in our next webinar. So if you're interested in hearing about that, definitely sign up for next month. And it looks like additional deep dives in how Aduvo can help, which we can definitely do in our next call as well. So thank you guys for the feedback. And then let's see, my next one is, if you or yourself would like to potentially participate in a webinar in the future, we're definitely looking to have people speak and be a part of these and really make it feel like a community. So if you're interested or you think somebody you know might be interested, we can definitely reach out to you guys. And I see another question popped up. So once I close this poll, I will answer that for you. It looks like we've got some interest for the future. So sounds great. I can definitely reach out to you guys and we can discuss how we can have you on. And then let's see this other question here. Can an LO use his or own cell phone number for text? No, they cannot do that with Twilio, which is the pretty typical platform. But what we can do include, they will need to opt into texting and things like that. So they will be aware that the text is coming from you. And I can definitely get additional information for you on the texting front. We have somebody that's really knowledgeable about all of that. So I can definitely have him answer any additional questions on the texting front. And I will just schedule that follow-up call with you when I email you after this webinar.
And we also had some additional changes that we implemented here just in the last 60 days. A lot of the rules have very, very recently changed from the major wireless carriers. We're working closely with Twilio to make sure we follow those, but that's another reason why we can't have it come from the LO's number is a lot of those rules have changed, and they're going to start getting blocked is really the bottom line of it. So having a new number issued and properly registered with Twilio with the major carriers is how our process works.
Okay, I've got two last questions here for you guys. Just seeing if anybody's interested in having us go ahead and create that free account for you so we can go ahead and get you in the platform, poking around, no charge. You don't have to submit any documentation with us, but definitely happy to stand those sites up for you. And then I can reach out directly to you to schedule any walkthrough calls and deeper dives with you as well. It looks like we've got a good amount interested, so I can definitely do that. I also see a couple are wanting to be contacted, so I can have my sales team reach out to you today as well. And let's see, we got another question here. Let me take a look at that. We are a part of Focus IT, and we both, I don't know the best way to answer it, but yes, we are the same company as Focus IT. And then my last question here for everybody is just so I can go ahead and if you're interested in attending the next webinar, if you go ahead and click yes, I can just go ahead and add you to the list for the next one. Then I can also throw the registration link in the chat. I will be sending a follow-up email tomorrow morning that will also include this link. So you can feel free to wait until then. But let me go ahead and send this in the chat here. You can register there directly, or again, I can add you to the list like I did last time. It's great to see a lot of similar names in the chat, and feel free to share that link with anybody you think might have interest. And then I will be following up with an email tomorrow morning. I'll include the recording. You guys can definitely feel free to watch that at another time. If you want to schedule a follow-up with myself or my sales team, can definitely reach out to us on that email. And those that were interested in standing up the trial accounts, I will get those over to you hopefully later today. So watch out for an email from Aduvo, support@aduvo.com. And once I have those created, I'll also send you an email from myself as well, just letting you know that that's there. Okay, and it looks like one more question here. Can you add attachments to custom email templates? I don't believe you can add attachments, but I will confirm that. I'm not sure. You entered the question anonymous. If you don't mind sharing your name, I can definitely get back with you on that. And then for the emailing, what email address is used? It would use the LO's email address. If you set it to be the LO's, you can also do custom address. So let me just show you. Let me just pop open our campaign builder here. So you can either select the role and then it would come from their email address on their profile, or you could do a custom email address. So if it was from info@ or something like that, you can customize those based on your company needs. Any other last minute questions I can answer for you guys? Okay. Well, great. The price, so it depends on the number of users that you have. We start at $149 per user per month, and the price goes down depending on users. Right now, the platform is free. for the next 60 days or so. So if you wanted to get there and poke around and figure out if you want to keep the platform, you definitely can. So feel free to reach out to me directly and I can help you out on that and then answer any questions you have. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. If you think of anything else, again, feel free to reach out to me directly, and then we will get that follow-up email out to you tomorrow morning with the recording and a link to sign up for next month. Thank you for joining, and I hope you have a good rest of your Wednesday.